From the patient files of Dr. Hugo Strange, director of Arkham Asylum. Patient Mortimer Drake, also known as the Cavalier. The patient suffers from delusions of grandeur, antisocial personality disorder, and possibly narcissistic personality disorder. Session 1. So, Mr. Drake, tell me why you did it.
You amuse me.
Oh, really? Why's that?
I'm terribly sorry, but I don't feel like playing along with this absurd charade of yours.
Charade? What charade, Mr. Drake?
You know perfectly well what I speak of, you fraudulent cad.
No, I can't say that I do. Explain it to me, please.
This entire spectacle, a therapy session?
The therapy session is to help you, Mr. Drake.
And therein lies the issue. I am not in need of help.
What makes you say that? All right, you don't need my help. But we can still talk, can't we? Just a friendly little chat. What do you say about that?
Oh, certainly. Let's chat.
We could talk about your adventures.
Oh, you want to talk about my adventures, do you? Oh, yes, let's do so.
Fine. Why are you so hostile towards me?
Because you are a villain, monsieur.
I'm a villain.
Yes.
And what makes you say that?
I think you know.
I do.
Yes, you know what you've done.
What have I done?
Oh, you know.
Humor me.
You have imprisoned this city's greatest champion, under false pretenses.
Have I?
You have thrown him into a lunatic asylum, declared him insane, and for what, I ask? For the act of helping people? For punishing wicked evildoers? Where lies the insanity in that?
I assume you're talking about Bruce Wayne? Did you know Wayne, Mr. Drake?
I met him a few times, at the Gentleman's Club.
You were friends?
No. I considered him a foppish buffoon. Now I realise, of course, that it was all just a ruse. Ingenious, really.
You seem to admire him quite a bit.
When I heard the news that Wayne had been using all his wealth to help the city, to literally go out into the streets and combat evil, I was moved to tears.
Combat evil, is it?
Yes, criminals are a vile lot who prey upon the innocent and weak. Something you don't seem to grasp.
And that's why you did it?
I figured I'd be a selfish fool if I didn't use my wealth to do the same.
So you decided to play dress up and go out into the streets and attack people with a sword.
Ha! People! The vile scum I encountered couldn't exactly be called people.
Everyone's still a person, no matter what their deeds.
I don't think you would have felt the same if you had seen what I saw. Like the penguin sex slave ring I broke up. If you had been there, witnessed the conditions those women lived in, how they were treated, I doubt you would still consider Oswald Cobblepot a person. And Cobblepot is still out there, committing his foul deeds, so are many others, and here I am, shackled, incapable to do anything about it, just like the Batman. This city is doomed if you don't let us do our work. Don't you see? We are not the offenders here.
It is a very dangerous game you are playing, Mr. Drake, just like Wayne. Slapping on a goofy costume and taking the law into your own hands won't solve anything. If anything, it only makes things worse, escalates things. That is exactly what Batman did.
Absolute rubbish.
Let the police handle these matters. That's what they are for. Commissioner Gordon is perfectly capable of handling these criminals. We don't need thrill-seeking man-children meddling and making a mess.
Oh, you think I'm a thrill-seeker, eh? I do it for the action, That's all it's about? Getting a kick?
At some level, at least. I mean, please. You literally dress up like Zorro. And unlike Wayne, you gladly made interviews and seemed to love appearing on camera. You relish the limelight, the attention.
No, you're wrong. I did those things to inspire more people to rise up and make a stand against the forces of evil.
I don't buy that. I think you're a narcissistic diva.
And I think you're a blind fool, monsieur. You have no idea what you speak of, or what you have done. Perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps you aren't a villain. I'm beginning to get the impression you're simply a misguided fanatic, deluded into thinking you're doing the right thing.
Oh, really? I could say the exact same thing about you, Mr. Drake. What do you think your actions would lead to? Especially if I let you out of here. I'll tell you. Some mentally unstable person would see your interviews and start to think, I want to dress up too and challenge this Cavalier. And all of a sudden, we have a violent duel in the streets between two costume cooks. And just think about all the innocents getting caught in a crossfire. And then there's another challenger, and another. That's what it leads to, Mr. Drake. We've already seen it happen with Batman. You need to end this silly game of yours. Think about the real-world consequences. The fallout of your crusade far outweighs the few people you managed to save.
That is not proven.
What isn't?
This theory of yours, that costumes breed more costumes. I've seen you on the television, ranting about it. A theory is all it is. And you can't imprison a great hero based merely on a loose theory. Meanwhile, I was out there doing actual good while you were sitting here in your insane asylum casting judgment upon heroes.
Mr. Drake, I'll start your medication right away. Don't worry, we'll get those nasty thoughts out of your head. Soon you will have no more desire to play Zorro in the streets.
You bastard. You wretched, foul, spineless cur! You can't do this! You can't!